This is Joel Markowitz from DCTheaterReviews.com. I'm at Roundhouse Theater in Bethesda, Maryland, with director Aaron Posner, who is directing A Murder, a Mystery, and a Marriage, a Mark Twain musical. Aaron also wrote the howlingly funny book and lyrics for the show. Thanks so much, Aaron, for meeting with us just before the curtain goes up here at Roundhouse Theater.
Pleasure to be here.
And after a very busy day at the Folger, I heard you had auditions.
I did. I'm going to be doing The Tempest in the spring, just a little over, about 10 months from now. So we're just getting started because, the D.C. theater community, a lot of the actors get booked up very early, so we're trying to get folks lined up early.
And we're becoming very popular here in D.C., as you know.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and you are originally from Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're the co-founder and resident director of the Arden Theater Company in Philadelphia, where you've directed over 40 productions in the last 17 years.
Something like that.
Wow, what a resume this man has. And do you ever sleep?
From time to time.
And probably on that train when you leave here today, right? We hope.
Exactly.
And also, congratulations on your Helen Hayes Award, which you won for Best Director for Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Thank you very much.
It was a very entertaining production. I think a lot of our people out there in theater land saw it.
Excellent.
Tell me how you made some time in this very crazy, manic, busy schedule you have to direct this production at Roundhouse.
As a freelancer, this has been one of my busiest years ever. I'm directing 7 shows this year. This is actually the 5th or 6th, I guess, on a long run. And of course, this production is a co-production with the Delaware Theater Company. So it actually started at Delaware. It ran there. I rehearsed it up in Delaware.
Right.
And then the day after it opened in Delaware, I went to Atlanta, Georgia, to direct The Underpants at the Alliance Theater.
How was that? Did they have a brief run?
It's still it's not brief. It's still running.
Good,
I'm actually going back down there tomorrow.
Okay, good.
But then came back up here to reopen the show up here.
Okay, good. Can you tell us about the Mark Twain short story, which is the source for this musical, and how you became involved in the project?
It's a story that I found. I'm an adapter of literature. I've done a lot of adaptations, and even the Shakespeare productions I do at the Folger are definitely sort of adaptations of a sort. And it was a story that I literally just found in the bookstore one day. It was a time when I was thinking sort of about Americana and what we're meaning when we talk about Americans, and Twain is one of the quintessential American authors. The title caught my eye. It looked like a fun story. I bought the book. I read it. And it was fun and brief and playful. It had a spirit and a kind of Americana energy that I just really, really responded to. So I thought this might be an interesting play. And then I was at the Oregon Country Fair. I saw this jug band playing, and I suddenly went, I know, this quintessential American music might go very well with this quintessential American story, and I had the idea to turn this into a musical.
It's amazing how things come to you while you're eating cotton candy.
Exactly. That's
riding the roller coaster.
You never know when the best ideas are going to come, and they show up from time to time.
Well, tell the audience a little bit about how they found this short story.
Well, Mark Twain wrote it as part of a scheme he had for the Atlantic Monthly to get 10 authors to write different versions of the same short story. It was sort of a get-rich-quick scheme. He thought he could make a lot of money on it.
He wasn't very good at it.
He was terrible at them.
Things, right?
Another quintessentially American thing about him. Yeah, he was very, very bad at it, but kept trying his whole life. And wanted to get these other authors, and they never wrote theirs, but he wrote this story during 2 days in April of 1876, and it's really more of a sketch, and that's what I've sort of taken and fleshed out.
Right. Okay, tell us how long it took you to write the books and the lyrics, and tell us about working with composer James Sugg.
I suppose it's been about a 3-year process altogether, from the conception through the first drafts, through, James is a longtime collaborator of mine. He's been an actor with me at the Folger and at the Arden and elsewhere. He's a sound designer. He's done composition for me before, small things for shows, but never a full musical. As I read this piece and as I thought about it, he just was one of the first people that came to mind. I thought this would be the person to do this job, and so I invited him into it, and we started work. We did a workshop at the Arden about 1.5 years ago.
And how long did that run?
We did a 2 weeks of rehearsal and just one open reading, and the audience response was great. And Blake Robeson from the Roundhouse came to see that reading.
Right.
Anne-Marie Camarado had heard about it. I sent her the script, and we got those 2 artistic directors together, and that's how this co-production was born.
Well, tell me how many of the jokes and the puns are Mark Twain's and how much are yours, would you say?
Well, I would say they're all inspired by Twain.
Okay, that's
although they're maybe inspired a little bit by Monty Python and Mad cash. And
don't give it away. I told Jerry in this not to do it.
It's not that I'm giving anything away.
Okay.
It's also inspired by the actors who are in the show and my friends who are funny. I mean, when you're writing comedy, believe me, you're taking from everything you have ever heard that was funny, that makes you laugh, that hits your tickle bone, and so that's where it's all based on. But so the story is Twain's, the idea is Twain's, but a lot of the writing is mine.
Can you tell us about the Delaware production, how long it ran, and how different it was from what we're seeing here on the stage at Roundhouse Theater?
It ran for 3 weeks. It only closed a week before we came down here, and then we had about a week to tech it and put it in here. Very successful run. What you're seeing here is very similar. Certainly, it's the same exact set, same costumes. The dynamic of the two spaces is different, so we had some sort of fine calibrating to do, but overall, the productions are very, very similar.
And what was the audition process like?
Well, the decision was, because of this co-production between the sort of Philadelphia, Wilmington region and D.C., was to split the cast and design staff right in half. So about half of each came from each of the two cities, and everyone is from one of these two places. And so it's just a matter of finding the right people, and we have an absolutely outstanding group.
It's an incredible cast.
Yeah, it really is.
Ask for anybody better.
No,
and the chemistry seems to be great.
They're working together beautifully. I'm very, very pleased.
Well, what's the audience reaction been to the performances that you've been at so far?
Well, I would say hilarious. They laugh a lot, which is, and believe me, as an author, there is nothing more gratifying than these jokes you wrote getting these big laughs, and the fact that people pretty much at the end of almost every performance sort of leap to their feet, and often leap, not just jump, but and not just step, but so the fact that people sort of leap to their feet and find great joy in it is, of course, a source of tremendous satisfaction.
Well, I was here on press night, and I can tell you I saw critics actually leap to their feet. Now, I hope they come through here now.
I hope so, too.
Well, let's just hope, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I know today 3 critics just loved the show, and
it's very nothing personal here.
Right.
Well, while it's very important for critics to like the show, the people I care about, the ones I care about, are the people who come to see it.
Right. Now, if you have a chance to personally invite families and children to the show, can you say something to them?
I guess what I would say is we went out of our way to make sure that this was a family show, that it was something that was accessible to everyone. Certainly, there is a murder and a mystery and a marriage, so it's not all cotton candy and sunshine and roses, but it's done in a sort of fun and playful way, and it's. There's nothing fancy about it. It's designed to be 2 good hours in the theater with some great songs, some great dancing, some fun acting, and it's sort of a playful playground, a fun time for all.
Well, I can tell you that I was here on Sunday night with a friend, and we were just howling the whole night, and I saw other people, including critics again, just howling at the show. So thank you very much for bringing it to this area, and I'll be back to see it several times.
That's very delightful.
Friends, so
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A Murder, a Mystery, and a Marriage plays at Roundhouse Theater in Bethesda, Maryland from May 31st through June 25th, 2006. For tickets, call 240-644-1100 or go to their website, www.roundhousetheater.org.